Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we got a super special treat for you guys. This is actually, we're going to be doing a color that I've been looking forward to doing for a while. And any of you bait makers or people that run lure companies probably know how rare it is when you actually look forward to making a color. But this one right here, Jelly Apple Red from Lureworks, of course. Supposed to be like a very transparent, kind of orangey red, and it looks best in a big long worm, so we're going to use our 7-inch ribbon tail worm here. There you go, that is the mold. And we are going to use a bunch of different flakes today, so I can show you what it looks like with a bunch of different colors. And actually, going forward, this is going to be our format, so when we do let's see, I got a video queued up for like root beer dye from Lureworks or shrimp brown, right? I'm going to do a bunch of different flakes, basically a cup of plastic each, and then a different flake each pour. That way you can get kind of a much better overall view of kind of what the color looks like. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use some gold, and this is not normal gold, this is actually called gold 2x2, and this is probably the most shiny gold you ever see. It's completely different than your normal square cut or whisker cut gold. Shines completely differently. So we're going to use that. We're going to use some emerald green. We've got both large and small flake there from Cinco Sam. We're going to use large and small. This is like a hollow silver, right? And we're going to use large and small, well actually large and medium. This is called 2x2, and if you'll notice it's like random cuts, just very very fine. And then this is a different red. I don't know if you can see the difference there. One's a little bit brighter and then one's a little bit darker, but this is called hollow red, and this is, of course, both of these are polycut, which means it's just like random little flakes. See there, there's not square, there's not whisker, there's not what's the other one? Hexagonal or whatever. So they sit really differently inside of the bait, and they also shine differently. And I'll show you guys that in a little bit. And then we're going to be using two different blues. This is, of course, polycut blue, and this is like a blue. This is more of a typical blue, but this is kind of a hollow shift. So we'll be right back once our plastic is ready to go, and we will show you what this Jelly Apple Red is made of. Alright, our first cup of plastic is ready. We're going to do 35 drops. We've got 1 cup. I made sure it's nice and shaken, not stirred, right? It's nice and mixed up. So we're going to go ahead and do 35 drops. Alright, that is 35 drops. Let's go ahead and get that mixed up. Alright, first impression, kind of a pinky red. Reminds me very much of methylate before it oranges out. And we're going to go in with some of this red 2x2. Again, this is polycut. This is completely, and we're going to do 1/4 of a teaspoon. So there's that. This polycut, all of this stuff is also super high heat. Not that you should be taking your plastic up to 400 degrees, but your glitter won't melt if you do. So. Alright, and 1/4 teaspoon of the hollow red. And let's go ahead and mix that in. Go. We can see all the individual flakes. That red, of course, is going to bring out the red tone. If this was like a methylate color, which I'm not sure, I haven't actually shot it yet, this would bring out more of the red in that tone. So let's go ahead and draw some up. We'll go ahead and bleed the injector. Make sure there's no air. And we'll go ahead and shoot the mold. And be sure to hold pressure for a couple seconds after. Alright, that should be fine. And then when we come back, we will demold this worm, and then I'll immediately cut to the next glitter selection. So next we'll probably do our gold, and then we'll do a demold, right? And then we'll do green, we'll do the demold, we'll do the silver, we'll do the blue, right? And then that way I think it might be a little bit easier for me to add timestamps if I end up actually doing that. So we'll be back in 1 minute when we're ready to demold this red. Okay, and we're back. Alright, so this is this color off the end of the injector. This looks incredible. This is like a red, pink, orange, maybe? But there's a look at it. Red flake. I love it. I think sometimes, you know, you just pick the right mold for the right color, and I think maybe you just have to make baits to understand that statement, but some colors just look better in some molds, right? And I think that this color is going to look absolutely incredible in this big long worm. Ooh, boy. That is a freaking fish catcher right there. So here we go. Kind of a translucent pink, orange, red. You can see as the light hits it, it's kind of pinkish. But those tails, they look almost pink. And then as you get through the body, it looks very orangey red. Take a couple of these off here. Very transparent, very see-through. So it's like a pink on the bottom, like a orange-red on the top. And these 100%, I mean, this is, especially in this mold, this color, I mean, this is why scuppernong works, this is why methylate works, this is why pink works, right? Something really, really bright that's just going to shine underwater. And these pieces of flake that are in here, I mean, this will just catch the light and it's going to be crazy. You can see in the tail that the different cuts. But each one of those reflects light differently. And boy, this will shine underwater. So here you go, that's the red, so that's the jelly apple red dye, and then the red flake. We're going to come back, we'll be ready with another cup of plastic, we're going to do the same 35 drops, and we're going to do some of that gold 2x2 and see how it looks. And we're back. We've got our next cup of plastic ready to go. We're going to do another 35 drops. Alright, if you were counting, that was probably about 36. We spilled a drop out there, but that's perfectly fine. Same pinky red color. Go ahead and add our flake, and since we did 2/4 teaspoons of the two different sizes before, we're going to do 1 whole half of this 2x2. And you'll see it sits entirely different inside of this. It looks kind of a little bit more clumpy, but that's because of how it's cut. So there we go. Now let's get this mixed in. Alright, there you go. You can see that 2x2, that gold 2x2, you can see it shines. It looks like it's shining from the inside and then red around the outside. That is one of the aspects of why this is the superior gold flake. And you will not find this flake at Barlow's or Lureworks or Bait Plastics. This is, I don't even know that they make it inside the U.S. Might be strictly and only an overseas thing. But here we go. We're going to go ahead and shoot our mold. Hold pressure. And for those of you wondering, when you are a production lure company, you order glitter by the kilo or half kilo. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 7 half kilos of a bunch of different colors. Each one of these is like a brick. Maybe put it in Scarface drug terms, you know. But yeah, that is a brick of flake. Again, all of that is the polycut. I'm not even sure that they make that inside the U.S. because there's no real reason. Like all the big boat manufacturers and automobile manufacturers, they wouldn't really have any reason to have that like a strange cut mixed into their paints. And that's the big market for what flake is used for in the real world outside of bait making. So, all right, we'll be back in 1 minute, and we're going to demold this 2x2 gold. All right, and we are back. Here is this off of the end of the sprue there. You can kind of see the if this were a mix between red and pink, and the red that we just shot, that brings out more of the red side. This gold looks like it has brought out more of the pink-orange side, and you can also see some of this flake actually looks as though it is, because it's inside the plastic, like an orange color, right? It's of course still gold, it's just being kind of covered by the plastic and it shines a little bit differently. So I'll go ahead and open up this mold here. We'll see what it looks like with the gold flake. Oh, alright, all on this side, that's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and straighten that out for you. That way it's not an entire mess. That's fine. Alright. Very similar to the red with the red. The only difference I see is that the tails look less pink and more orange, and so does the body. And you can see that 2x2, man, it shines right through the center of the bait there. Take a couple off. This gold 2x2 is on a different level from any other flake that you'll ever have. See, it looks like it shines right through the center there. I think, I mean, I would fish this color. This gold, you can see the gold in the tail. Very orangish color. And then, of course, when the light hits it, you can see as I hold it up, it's kind of got that pink underglow. So there you go, that's the gold 2x2. We'll be right back, and we're going to do the emerald green. Alright, we're back. We're going to do our same 35 drops. Alright, there's 35 drops. Sometimes it gets a little plugged if you don't do like a large enough opening hole. It'll just kind of get plugged on itself. So, alright, and since we are doing two different sizes here, we're going to go back to our quarter. So there's a quarter of large green. a quarter of small green. Get that mixed in. This is probably going to darken it down. It's going to look like, I don't know, apple red Christmas or something. There you go. Kind of red and green. I can already tell I'm probably not going to like this color. I mean, I'll still throw it, but sometimes you just fish colors that you're a little bit more confident in. And brighter colors like the red and the gold, I am definitely far more confident in. Let's see how this turns out, though. One other thing you'll notice is that it's darkened the plastic down a little bit. You can see the center there looks a little brown. That's because of the color of the flake that's in it. So we'll be right back for the demold of the green. Alright, we are back. I totally took the sprue off the injector without even thinking to show you guys. So we're just going to dive right in and look at what this, look at how this turns out. Alright. Now this green, this bait is far more pink than anything. And normally I like pink, but this, I'm not sure I like this color. This is like you poured a pink worm and then like left your window open while you were mowing the lawn or something. You can see in there, there's that green. I mean, I guess it's alright. It's just a little bit darker than what I like. You can see green in the tail there, but it kind of darkens the bait down like some kind of St. Patty's Day thing or something like that. But it's, I don't know. It's like if you made a pink worm and then just left the window open and mowed the lawn. You just get grass shavings all up over it. You can still see the pink highlight, the pink undertone. There you go, that's a good one. You can see the pink on the underside. Not my favorite. Probably won't make this color again, but I definitely would throw this color. Okay, we're back. We have our next cup ready. Same 35 drops of Jelly Apple Red. And this time we're going to go in with some holographic silver. Alright, here's 35 drops. We're going to use this holographic silver. We'll do a quarter of the small and a quarter of the large. And we will see how this mixes up. Definitely, there's a color made called Disco Shad. It's on a clear background. This kind of reminds me of this. Alright, let's suck up some air. Let's bleed the injector. And let's go ahead and shoot this mold. Definitely looks put some out on the table for you guys. That holographic silver definitely brings it out and makes it look more pink, that's for sure. Looks like a birthday cake or something. And we'll be right back for the demold. Alright, we're back. This is that little amount that I poured out on the table. This holographic silver definitely makes it more pink. So let's go ahead and open up this mold and let's see what we got. Oh yeah. Definitely brings out those pink undertones. I mean, this is a pink bait. And that's fine. I throw pink baits because they work. This might even work really well underwater just because see all these silver flecks. I mean, those are going to catch light, kind of sparkle it all around and everything. Well, there we go. That is the holographic silver. Definitely brings out the pink undertone of this jelly apple red color. Next, we're going to be doing blue. Okay, we're back. I decided to save everyone the video of me putting the drops in. It's the same exact 35 drops for the same 1 cup that we've been doing. We're going to go ahead and go in with this blue polyflake and see what we get. We're going to do 1/4 per flake. I tried to get 2 blues that were close in color. These are slightly off, but close enough, I think. Alright, so looks a little bit more purple than we've seen in previous batches. Alright, let's go ahead and shoot this mold and see what we get. Pink and blue is a super popular color. If I had to guess, I would think that the pink would, or the blue would maybe darken it down a little bit, make it look like a deep pink baby blue combo. But we'll go ahead and see in a second. I'll put some out on the table for you guys. So at first glance, this looks like a deep magenta. And we'll see here in just 1 second once we demold this what it looks like. Okay, we're back. This is that little puck off the table. Really brings forward the pink, adds a little bit of purple undertone to it. Looks very much like I don't know, like a magenta. Let's go ahead and open up this mold and see what we got. Of course, they come out on the other side. Okay. This is actually very nice. This is like a translucent pink with kind of red undertones, it looks like. As the light passes through it, it looks a little bit more solid. That's not bad. It looks kind of orange on the top, pink on the bottom. I like the little blue sparkle. I'd probably throw this. This turned out much better than I was expecting. Some of these blue flakes, it kind of looks a little purple as it reflects through the plastic. So there you go. That is jelly apple red and blue. And we're going to do one more for you. It's going to be purple. So purple flake, like a grape color. Okay, we're back. We got our last color here. Again, I saved you guys the trouble. It's just 35 drops. And we're going to go in with this poly cut. This is Concord Grape. So we'll do a kind of a heaping quarter, and then we have this. This is called Violet, but it's very much a Concord Grape color. It's a small flake. And we will get that all mixed in and see what we get. I had to guess. Oh, I don't know. This is going to be like a deep purple smoke on the water, if anyone's old enough to remember that. If you don't know what that is, it was a song by Deep Purple, a band. Gosh, it's so old. Probably like the 70s or the 80s. But they had a great song called Smoke on the Water. So that was my pun for the day. Alright, so we can see the tiny purple flake and the large purple flake kind of stand out a little bit. Let's go ahead and get this mold shot. Alright, we'll be right back for the demold on this one. Okay, we're back. No sprue or anything like that on this one. We're just going to demold it and jump right in and see what we got. And there we go. I actually like that. More purple and pink. Let's see here. Still very transparent. I do really like the look of these bigger chunks of like grape in here, especially through the tail. Really kind of sets it off. So there you go. That is the purple flake in this jelly apple red color. And we'll be back in 1 second, and I'm just going to show you the progression of all of these different colors. Okay, so here we go. These are all 6 of the colors that we poured. You can kind of see, and it's in the order that we poured them too. So we've got the red flake, we've got the gold flake, we've got the mowed lawn, the green, we've got the silver holographic, and then we have the blue, and then we have the purple. Now, if I were just to, you were to present me these 6 and say, like, okay, you can throw one, what color would you throw? 100% I'm going for the gold. Man, using gold underwater is like a cheat code. It just reflects light so well that, you're guaranteed to catch something. So, I'd probably hit, like, the gold first. I'd probably do, like, the silver holographic next. And then, I don't know, it'd be between like the blue or the red. Probably like the blue to get a little bit darker of a contrast there. Probably wouldn't be throwing the green. Like I said, leave your window open and mow the lawn, and this is what this bait would look like. It just looks like you took a handful of grass and like threw it on the bait. It looks terrible. I'm sure it would catch fish. Not the first thing that I would go to in any case. I do like this purple. I just think that it's a little bit dark, and comparatively, I'm not against dark baits, but comparatively, I would much rather pick like a brighter colored bait first. And then the red is alright. I would definitely throw this red. But like I said, in the lineup with the other ones, I think that these are just a little bit brighter, a little bit more shiny, and this is a little bit more downtone. So, again, I do throw scuppernong, so this would, and methylate, so this would definitely work. But there you go. That is the deep dive into Jelly Apple Red by Lure Works. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments.